this video is for Herrick Roadmaps. This is going to show you how to add pictures to the photo gallery under travel pics. There's a couple ways you can do it. I'm going to go with the easiest one I know of based on the software that you have access to. So the first thing I want to point out is you had some questions about how to change or delete photos that are already in there. That's pretty simple. All you really have to do is, let's go over to travel. I'm already on the site and logged in. So let's go over to travel pics and then go ahead and edit live, because I think that's the way you like to edit anyway. So when you're, instead of the back end. So when you're down here, all you really have to do is hover over a picture, and you can hit the delete element, which will delete just this photo. So as you go through them and you decide, I loaded up every picture you sent me, but if there's ones in here you want to get rid of, just hover over it and hit delete, and it'll rearrange them into the grid. So that's the first question you had. So now how to add travel pics. So I want to point something out to you. In the media library, which is over here, let me go back here so you can see. You could just go to dashboard, hover down to media, and go to the library. All your travel pictures, all your pictures for the blog, everything's housed in the media library. But the thing I want you to notice is, here's a bunch of the travel photos, is most of these photos over here, you can see the dimensions. So most of them are about 500 wide. If they came to me thinner than that or less wide than 500 pixels, I did the best I can. But if they came wider than 500 pixels, I went ahead and sized them down. Now, I did this in a software you don't have access to. I fed it all the photos and it automatically resized it. You're going to have to, because you don't have access to scripts in Photoshop, do this in Canva. So this will also probably force you to pick the best of the best, because it will take a little process. But notice every picture, the dimension is at least 500 pixels wide. So, and about 600 tall. So what you want to do is you want to open Canva and go and create a custom size. You're always going to want 500 wide. And I would suggest 600 tall. And you're going to get a blank like that. You could go a little, wider or taller if you want. Then you want to go over here to upload, but you just want to be consistent. So if you upload the files, I'm going to go to the ones you sent me. And you put them in photos. I think most of them are down here. No, I saw them earlier. Let's see here. Where'd they go? Oh, maybe they were up here. Sorry. Here they are. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take each one of these photos and you want to load them up. So I'm actually going to grab them all at once, which you can do. You just click on it, hit on a Mac, you hit Shift, go to every photo you want to load and hit Open. So now it's going to load it to my media library in Canva. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take each photo and bring it over to the canvas, drop it, and then stretch it to fit this grid. This one's going to be tight, so I don't know if that one's going to work. So I'm just going to delete that one for now and pick one that will work. What you might want to do is go back and make another canvas at like 700 wide, but be consistent. That's the key. So let's go to this one. Just stretch each corner and recenter it. So that's done. And then you could just add a page and keep going. This is a good one that will fit that grid. Like I said, you can always make it wider. Just be consistent. And then add a page Let's do this one a Cole. Add a page. Let's see if we can fit. Let's that might be a little too. I don't know if we can squeeze that in. Yeah, you can squeeze that in. So I do that one. And then we're going to add a page of the store, candy store. Keep added page. Let me go ahead and do them all. This one. This one looks like it could be straightened out a little. And then add a page. Here's one of Cole. Just grab every corner. It's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and recenter this one so he's mostly in the picture. This would be a good one for the front of the blog. Featured image if you're going to write a blog about where you've been. For the website, let's center that. And then let's just do this one. That gives us 10 photos. That's pretty hefty. Okay, then you're going to go down here. Let me retitle this so I know. And then I'm going to put 500 by 600 just so I know what the file folder is. So when you download multiple in Canva, it's going to put them in a zip folder. So I'm downloading all 10, and because I'm downloading 10 all at once, it'll zip them into a folder. So then I'm going to go over here to my downloads, and I'm going to unzip. There's all the pictures, and they're all sized 500 wide. So once I've done that, I can go back to the website, go to travel pics. And this is where I think it's easier in terms of the gallery. You can go over here and click gallery and hit bulk add or add image. I would bulk add, and then it'll take you over to add media, hit upload files. Now you can go back and select the files from your downloads. So there they are. And once again, I'm going to do it all at once. So I click one, hit shift on a Mac, and then hit the last one. I'll grab them all and I'll load them. So give it a second to load. And then once they've all loaded, when they load, they're automatically selected, and then you just insert them into the post. And then I'll show you what it'll look like. So it should load into the bottom here. Here we go. It's a little off here because it needs probably one more picture. But once, you get a few more pictures in there, it'll fill in. It'll always probably be a little off on the bottom here because it's doing it. I think I've got it set to a grid setting. A gallery layout of default, which I think is the grid. Yeah. So it fits it in anyway. It sees it almost like a puzzle. So I think that's it. You can do it order by descending. I wonder if I should do ascending the other way. Put the ones on top. Yeah. I just switched it to ascending instead of descending. So your most recent would be on top. So let me know, if you have any questions. But like I said, you're going to have to do it in Canva to resize them to be pretty much exact. They don't always have to be exact, but the grid's going to lay out better if they at least have relatively the same width. So just let me know if you have any. Oh, let me save it. Let me do that real quick. Sorry. And then we're going to go back to the front end. And then let me just refresh. It looks right, but let me refresh. There we go. See how they all kind of line up nicely because they're all about 500. That's really what ultimately you want. Some of the original photos you sent me weren't even 500 pixels wide, so they don't line up exactly like the ones on top do, but that would be the end goal. Just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.